Good morning. How do you know if you have low emotional intelligence? This is something that I've been looking into recently because I feel like I have low emotional intelligence. So how do you know if you have low emotional intelligence? Well, there are 6 signs of low emotional intelligence and how it distorts your perception and behaviour. So I was looking into this the other day and I started realising after doing a bit of research that I have low emotional intelligence, right? So high emotional intelligence is increasingly being linked to overall life success. So rather than the average, the standard IQ test, emotional intelligence, according to research, is more important in determining an individual's success when it comes to work, when it comes to relationships and general well-being. On the flip side is low emotional intelligence, right? Which is something that I've come to kind of find out about myself in my personal journey in life, right? So what is low emotional intelligence? Well, low emotional intelligence, right, is it can be inhibiting and it can distort your perceptions, reactions, right, and behaviour. Okay, so this video I wanted to have a look at some of the signs, 6 signs to be precise, right, that show you if you have low emotional intelligence or whether you have high emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence, right? So emotional intelligence is our ability to understand, regulate and express our emotions so that we can best adapt, right, to the environment we're in. Okay? It also relates to our ability to understand the emotions of others, okay, and to be able to effectively deal with other people in a positive and compassionate way. So people with high emotional intelligence usually, right, they are generally self-aware, are able to control and manage their thoughts and emotions, right, can handle criticism, okay, and can easily understand and empathize with the emotions of others, right? So that is emotional intelligence rather than cognitive cognitive intelligence, which is the IQ, the basic standard IQ. Right, so let's clarify something, okay, before we go on. Having a low level of emotional intelligence, right, like I do, okay, doesn't mean you're a bad person. I don't believe I'm a bad person, okay? It just means that it becomes more difficult, right, to navigate, the complexities of life and the relationships that come with it. Okay, so this is something that I realised that I have to work on. It's my relationship with others or lack thereof, right? So it's important to recognise that emotional intelligence is not static. It's not an unchangeable state of being. Okay, it's something that can be worked on. It's something that can be improved on. And it's something that I'm working on with myself, okay? So the first step is identifying whether your emotional intelligence is low or not, okay? So the first sign is being quick to judge, okay? So having a limited understanding of the emotions of others and of your own can mean that you jump to normally negative conclusions quickly. Is that something you do? You jump to negative conclusions about a situation quickly. So more often forming a negative opinion of a person or a situation can mean you are unable to rationalize your initial emotions, okay, and recognize the need to assess the context of the situation and the emotions and experiences of those within it. Okay? So not having a handle on your emotions can lead to a distorted view of a situation. So taking steps to check this will help you to squash those quick and unhelpful judgments. Okay, so that's the first step. That's what made me realize, one of the steps that made me realize that I have to work on my emotional intelligence. The second sign that you have low emotional intelligence, or you may not have low emotional intelligence, is you find it difficult to handle criticism. Is this you? Do you find it difficult to handle criticism? Because let's be honest, no one likes criticism. Okay? No one likes criticism. However, the more self-aware you are, the more honest you are with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. Okay? This makes it easier to accept criticism. Okay? Something I'm working on. Right? As it's mainly likely you are already aware of this weakness. Okay? And you take note that this is something you need to work on. Okay? So when someone has low self-awareness, this makes criticism a highly charged and emotional experience. Okay? So if criticism is something that you do not like or you do not take lightly, this could be a sign of low emotional intelligence. So the third sign that you have low emotional intelligence or not is listening is hard. Something I'm working on at the moment. Okay, my wife talks to me sometimes and she says, "Are you listening to me?" Okay, so this is something I'm working on. Okay, listening is hard. So a failure to listen to the opinions and thoughts of others could indicate that you lack emotional intelligence and are not assigning value to the emotions of others. So just think about the last time you had a disagreement or argument, right, with someone. Did you consider what the other person was saying, and did you attempt to empathize with their point of view? Think about it. Did you empathize with their point of view? People with high emotional intelligence can listen to a situation and won't automatically dismiss ideas that don't fit with their own viewpoint. So the next time you find yourself rising to the bait, take time to really listen to the point of view of someone, and whether you can put yourself in their shoes, okay, and put yourself and see yourself through their perspective. So that's the third sign that you have low emotional intelligence. The fourth sign that you have low emotional intelligence is the habit of dwelling on mistakes. I sometimes dwell on my past mistakes. I beat myself up. And what does that do? Nothing. It doesn't help me in the slightest. So being unable to let go of past mistakes is another sign of low emotional intelligence. So learning from mistakes is important, right? Okay? But letting them overshadow our life is unhelpful. It's not helpful at all. So enhancing your emotional intelligence could help you to stop beating yourself up about past failures and help you to learn from them rather than dwell on them, okay, unproductively. Okay, they keep you stuck. Okay, so that's the fourth sign of low emotional intelligence. The fifth sign that you may have low emotional intelligence or not is the habit of like feeling misunderstood, right? Persistent feelings that you aren't getting your message across, your viewpoint across, and that your relationships are suffering because of it, can mean that your level of emotional intelligence is quite low. Often, being misunderstood comes from being in tune with our own emotions and how they come across to others. So someone with high emotional intelligence is able to interpret when they are being misunderstood and have the strength within to adjust their approach accordingly. Okay? So having an understanding of how you come across can help you to adjust your manner when the situation needs it, such as when encountering conflict, having the confidence, the self-confidence to handle conflict, and when you encounter conflicts like we do sometimes in life, right? And the last sign that helped me personally realize that I have to work on my emotional intelligence is feeling stressed out. Feeling stressed out. Do you feel stressed out? Stress, okay, is used here as any time you may feel anxious, tense, or uncomfortable in a situation. Guilty as charged. Okay, right? Sometimes life can be very stressful. So with high emotional intelligence, it is easier to gain perspective, right, on a situation and not waste energy allowing yourself to grow anxious, right, and to allow that anxiety to persist. Okay, so with a lower emotional intelligence, you may be allowing unhelpful emotions to grow intolerable, right? Meaning that you feel stressed out regularly. Is that the case with you? Do you feel stressed out regularly? So by identifying these emotions and controlling them so they don't get out of hand, you can increase your emotional intelligence and manage feelings of stress better. Right? So these are the 6 signs that you feel emotional or have low emotional intelligence. Quick to judge. It's difficult to handle criticism. Listening is hard. Dwelling on mistakes. Feeling misunderstood. And feeling stressed out. Okay, so final thoughts. Having a low emotional intelligence could be having a profound effect on both your perception of the world and your relationships with others. So fortunately, emotional intelligence can be learned by recognizing that there is room for improvement in your own emotional quotient, right? By acknowledging this, you have made the first step in the right direction. So you can fix this. You can work on your emotional intelligence in order to better your life and become the better version of yourself. So keep up the work, keep up studying and bettering yourself so that you can have a better life. We're all in this together. I'm doing this too. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. Listen to me. But keep these signs in mind. Good luck and keep up the good work. See you later.